my amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you so much and remain blessed. Whenever you look my video, whenever you watch my video, share the video to all platforms. Share it to family and friends. Share it in your WhatsApp group so that people can get information on what is happening in the contraption called Nigeria, mainly against the Biafrans, against the Duduas, against the indigenous people in the contraption called Nigeria. I try as much as possible to set the record straight. I don't preach hate speech. I don't speak against people. I set the record straight. The only important thing I do here is to make sure that the plight of the people remains on the front burner and the world will know the true story of what is going on in the contraption called Nigeria.
Two-term governor of Anambra State and also a banker turned businessman who later ventured into politics and was the vice presidential candidate to Atiku Abubakar in 2019. He joins us from Lagos. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for joining us tonight. Let me begin by getting clarity on the position of the aspirants from the southeast region of the country on the platform of the PDP. First and foremost, it does look like you are looking for a consensus. Is that a position from that yesterday's meeting?
Thank you very much for inviting me, and I thank channels for the work they're doing in building a better Nigeria. The aspirants from the Southeast met yesterday and agreed to work together. Our reason being for better Nigeria, that we work together as a team to ensure that a Southeasterner on our commitment for a better Nigeria that will build based on fairness, equity. And you ask whether is that a consensus? Yes, I know that the issue of consensus is being presently canvassed within the PDP family, and we are not against that. We agree with that. If that consensus is going to be based on fairness, equity, respect, and love for each zone in a multinational nation like Nigeria, multi-ethnic, with zones, what you need for inclusiveness is to ensure fairness, equity, love of each other. That is even enshrined in our constitution when they mention issue of national character. If you go there, the constitution was very clear, is to ensure that every zone and every area is included in the power sharing. So for us, if the consensus is based on equity and fairness and respect, we will accept it.
I was asking that question because if you and your colleagues, former Senate President, former SGF, Samuel Hamwa, yourself, if you agree, because it's a similar thing that your northern colleagues, the Bukola Saraki, Aminu Tambuwa, Governor Bala Muhammad, that is one of those things that they're trying to do to have a consensus candidate from the north. Is your position as of yesterday, if you can categorically tell us, is that the Southeast aspirants in the PDP want to present a unified voice, a unified aspirant? Is that the case?
So we just started yesterday, but we agreed to work together. And that will lead to something, just like they have agreed to work together. They haven't agreed on one person. Maybe we just agreed that we're a family and we're going to work together for the interests of the Southeast. And we're doing that based on fairness, equity, and love of our love for the country and commitment to building a better Nigeria for our children.
So in essence, it means that you're coming together to choose one of you from the Southeast.
We haven't reached that stage, but we're working together. And we're working very well together, that I can tell you.
So, like your colleagues in the north, the Bukola Saraki, Aminu Tambuwal, Bala Mohammed, and Mr. Yatuding also going around and conversing for support. Would yourself and your Southeast colleague accept the consensus option being conversed by these northern aspirants?
That's what I told you, that any consensus that we're going to be reached must be based on fairness, equity, respect, and love of each zone. You know, this is a multi-ethnic nation with zones. Each zone has to be included. Everybody has to, you know, this is politics. It comes with consultation, dialogue, respect, and everything. It's not something that it's something you just order or direct other people or say you're going to do it by force and everything. In politics, it's about consultation and negotiation, which is why they're going around. We will do exactly the same thing to ensure. And you know, we've always supported other zones. We've always been with them. And we think that it is time for them to reciprocate. So we're going to do it with mutual understanding and respect of each other. But we just started yesterday, so it don't start, it's politics. We don't start today and end it today. We just started yesterday.
Because I know as a politician, as a former banker, and a strategist also, you like to put your cards on the table and see what your options are. And I'd like to ask you, should your colleagues in the Southeast not get the flag bearer mandate from your party in the end, because your party determines where this can be zoned, isn't it? Would your zone or yourself or some of your colleagues accept from the Southeast the running mate's mandate?
Well, Shem, let me start by correcting. You know, you said a banker turned businessman and then politician. I think it's the other way around. I'm basically a trader who actually found myself in the corporate world on the board level and then found myself in politics. But I remain foremostly a local Onitsha-based trader, which I do and can classify me as anybody who is in Balogu or area or Alaba. That's where I belong. That is why I've always spoken about what is happening with the economy. But for your question, issue of running mate, you don't discuss issue of runner-up or running mate when you're in competition. It's like nobody enters the competition accepting to be second or third until the competition is over. We are there to win. We are not there to start. We are not there because we want to negotiate this. I know you love football. Do you think any of the Premier League club enters into the competition to be a runner-up or to make the best five for this? They are there to win. We're there to win.
So let me allow you, Your Excellency, to listen to this. The Ohanese, perhaps the highest ranking socio-cultural group in the Southeast, have come up to say, this is the time of the Southeast. A lot of people of the Southeast extraction have also come up to sort of criticize what has not been a public position of the party on the issue of zoning, based on what we are hearing that the party may have thrown it open. But I'll allow you to take a listen to what the Ohanese in their meeting in Owerri, I think yesterday or today. Take a listen to them and I'll ask you my next question.
It is now obvious from every indication that Ndi Igbo have also cried enough about their marginalization. It should also be clear to the political class that the time has come again for them to wipe out this another historical tears that has befallen Igbo as a group. What is more, most of the patriots who engineered the plan that made the Southwest produce the presidential candidates for the two major political parties in 1999 are still alive and active in Nigerian politics. That same underlying law for the country that inspired them to do what they did for the Southwest in 1999 should inspire them to do the same for the Southeast in 2023.
Igbo firmly believe that the diversity of Nigeria has been grossly mismanaged, and the upcoming 2023 presidential election provides an excellent opportunity to redress any sense of exclusion or marginalization felt by the people of Southeast. So,
you've heard it. Those who are clamoring, Mr. Obi, if you can tell us tonight, how crucial, how critical is it for the Southeast to have the opportunity to be president in this country in 2023?
Well, I hope you heard what they said very, very clearly, Sheun. It is the same thing I have been saying, that this is based on fairness and equity. You have to have a fair, equitable society if you live in a nation that is as diverse as our own. And what Ohaneze is doing is appealing to the conscience of other zones to see our cry, to see that we're doing so based on our love and commitment for a better Nigeria. This is the foundation of the unity, the peace, the growth of this nation, and that is what our cry is. There's nothing more they can say. But if we're not asking, we're not saying, oh, it is our turn by force. We're not, it is what you can call a humble appeal that you look at this and see how these people have been crying over the years, how they were being humbly, respectfully appealing for inclusion. And that's what we're doing.
So the question here is, and I'd like to task you for a few minutes on what Nigeria needs. I'm not sure there is any Nigerian right now today, including those millions of those who are watching right now as you're speaking to us, that care about the rhetorics or care about promises. What they want to see is the person who has the idea in getting things done. The problems of Nigerians may be numerous, but it's certain that the crux of the matter is just about a few of them. Now, the question is, Mr. Obi, I'd like to ask you tonight, what do you think is Nigeria's biggest problem? Should the millions of people who are watching you tonight think you have what it takes to lead them? How do you see Nigeria's problem, and what do you think perhaps is Nigeria's biggest problem today?
So if I'm to say what Nigeria's biggest problem is, the one singular biggest problem which you're seeing that is affecting Nigeria, especially as we are presently, you can see that is leadership failure. What we're experiencing now is cumulative effect of leadership failure over the years. Leadership that have failed to look at the future, invest in the future, look at it and everything. So what Nigerians want to see is a leader who have the competence, the capacity to genuinely start tackling the enormous problems affecting our country, starting from issue of cohesion, and unity, we are so divided today as a nation. There's need to bring us together to love and care for each other. Issue of insecurity, to ensure security of life and property. Issue of the economy, especially tackling the unemployment, which is totally at a level that is unacceptable. Dealing with issues of education. Dealing with the issue of power supply, corruption. The list is endless.
A very direct question.
So we need to see a leader who will start tackling this genuinely. The load of a leader.
Immediately. Nigerians who want answers immediately. They want things to be resolved immediately. In the first 100 days. You've mentioned that there is a leadership problem in this country. What do you think that the next leader of Nigeria should be doing in the very first few days to resolving or allaying the pains of Nigerians?
Sharon, it's not that I don't believe in 100 days. I believe in tackling the right things from day one. All these 100 days and after it, you lose momentum. First is that the role of a leader is solving problems, bringing solution to problems, not to be creating more problems or blames. What you have here in Nigeria is that somebody seeks for a political position, and when he's elected, then he starts blaming the party. People know the problem. You're elected to solve that problem. And you have to start solving that problem from day one. Let me just give you an example.
All right.
So, our universities are closed for months. And we as political leaders are not even talking about it. Rather, we're talking about the next election. Our children are at home. It is painful. Our children are at home. At this time when education is the most critical asset for tomorrow. And what is the problem? It is for an agreement that was reached with university union as far back as 2009, 2010. It was agreed then that we're going to be giving just about $1 trillion for reconstruction, or what they call revitalization of the universities, which is just reconstruction, buildings, all this, and the infrastructures and the universities, which are decayed. That was agreed far back in 2009, 2010. Call it 2010. So we're talking 12 years now, and the nation agreed to give them $1 trillion. They have another set, which is backlog of the allowances, about 100 billion. So in total, I call it about 102 billion. If Nigeria was committed to just this agreement and believe in the value of education, we should have been started paying this here, even if it's annually 100 billion, which we can afford. Or if we cannot,
all right,
start paying it where we're paying 50 to about, would have been able to pay about 600 to 700 billion, this strike won't be on. But what we've been seeing here is that you agreed something in 2010. By 2022,
presidential aspirants on the platform of the People's Democratic Party is indeed enlightening to speak with you tonight, and hoping that in the coming days we'll be able to sit down again and discuss some of your ideas for you wanting to become Nigeria's president. But thank you so much indeed for your time tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir, for having me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Well, that's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Kimale. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you so much for your patience to watch from the beginning to the end. I hope you have learned something from the video you have just watched. The video you have just watched is to bring information to your doorstep and for educational purpose. It is not to demonize anybody. Let us watch continuously and see who can be able to make a sense out of every nonsense we are seeing. We must continue. We move. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. They will kill us. We will kill them. At the end of the day, Biafra is here. Thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please kindly subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you and remain blessed. Bye-bye. See you again.